Hi everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Breath of Life Conversations. This is actually a Sips and Shits and Giggles episode, but as you can see, I am back at home and I am by myself and what I'm not exactly sure what the hair is doing today, but it's a doing. Today is a day. Let's see if we can. There we go. I'm pulling in Amanda. I'm pulling in Amanda, fixing myself before we really dive deep into all of this, all of the things today. Um, welcome. Seriously, can't, okay. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. That's where we shall leave it. Um, Let me explain first before we really get started into this episode why it is that I'm by myself today. And it's because I've been abandoned. That's right. It is, we've taken a couple of weeks off and I have been abandoned by my co-hosts. Guys, Jessie is off hanging out with her father and other such people in her life. And because I would just assume that her children probably went with, or like her sister is there. Um, and Amanda is not feeling well. She is feeling thankfully better today um, than she was the last couple of days. But your girl was like out, laid up in bed, nauseated, and just like not able to like live and do all of the things. So, like, I had to go and like provide nursing care. It was kind of that bad. But thankfully she's like doing well now and like things are going good. Um, but it's also her like SO's birthday. So happy birthday to Amanda's SO and all of the things. And so this is why I'm here by myself. And guys, for this episode, like almost any other of my episodes, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have any like great wisdom to impart. I mean, I guess I can fill you in on some of like the extraordinary like stuff that has been happening to me. Um, and I hope that you find it interesting because I just really don't. My life is so simple. You know what I mean? Like I it's an extraordinary life. I will say that. Like I get to do things that not a whole lot of people get to do as I'm coming to find. And the stories that I hear and the stuff that I get into, that I hear about, that people tell me about, like it's not like your average everyday sort of life. Like I fully 100% understand I live a very extraordinary life. But at the same time, I'd also say that like my life is so boring. Like today, I woke up and I was on my phone, like watching short dramas. And then at like 8 o'clock, I got up and I did my laundry because that's when our laundry room opens here in the apartments. And I then like cleaned the house. Like me and my brother cleaned our apartment, our house. And like cleaned everywhere. Like we each cleaned our rooms. He cleaned the bathroom, I cleaned the living room. He like put away the dishes out of the dishwasher that I had filled the night before. We took out the trash. We got rid of one of his little chairs that was just like nonsensical. We went outside with the baby and, like then I read, like, I just finished this really amazing book. Guys, if you, it's right here because I literally just finished it. It's called Order Bound, The Bonds of Etheria. You gotta get it, okay? You gotta get it. It's so good. I absolutely loved this. Okay. I am adding it to my list of like books that just have so much like in it, like so much in it. This is one of what's going to be, I think, like 6 or 7 books or something like that. This is actually this author's first book. I'm really excited. I have thoughts, okay? Like I have tweaks and things that I would like absolutely like want him to like take my advice on. Um, and it's so interesting because like so this is actually my mom's partner's nephew. I've never met this man, but like, let me just say, if you are interested in fantasy books, if you're interested in like intuitive books, magical books, this be it. Like, this is actually like not, this is not bad. This is like great, actually. So I'm really impressed. Um, High praise coming from me, truly, when you know how many books I've read. Um, and I have high standards for the books that I read, truly. Like the ones that I'm gonna actually give praise to, like I'm gonna give praise because they're actually good, not because I happen to possibly like have, you know, this, the ability to like meet this person. Um, so like yeah, that's literally been my day. Um, But what I obviously like, I guess I can also update on the fact of like I got back from my trip. I went on my trip. You guys, I have never in my life felt so connected to a group of people. Um, the fact that we were all there under this understanding that we were actually performing grid work, that we were actively rejuvenating the land, that we were really bringing out ancient DNA from the land and knowledge from the land and like connecting it between heaven and earth. Like, guys, let me just say, like, if you are a person who loves to travel but also loves intuitive work, please, 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 I like bestow upon you all of the like good vibes that one day you get to do some of the work that I got to do on this trip to Mallorca, Spain. It was next level. And truly, like when I say next level, I mean next level for the planet, next level for me. I literally came back knowing I needed to make some major moves inside of my business, inside of my life and my career. And like, I know exactly what it is that I'm going to be doing and what I needed to do as far as cleaning up my own like mental patterns, my own actions, how it is that I need to like move in my life. And what was so incredible is like this stuff moved so freaking quickly. I knew certain things coming back. I was on this like this like 18-hour journey back home. And I ended up like knowing I had very clear thoughts in my head of what it was that I was supposed to do. And I get home and the like one of the very first things that happens as soon as I wake up like the next morning, I get a text message from someone and it like rocked me in the most in the like the best way possible because even though it wasn't a good text message, well, what I would say is it was a great text message because it solidified everything I knew that I was already going to do. Like it was the proof that I needed that everything I had already decided was going to happen. And so I legitimately looked in the mirror like the next day and was like, damn, I'm thinner. Like everything about me is is thinner. I literally was like, I think I've dropped 15 pounds of energetic weight. And I was floored. It could not have landed so clearly any other way. But like I said, and then from that point, it was just one thing after another that really led me to believing and knowing that this is what it is that I'm supposed to do, that these moves are how it is that I'm supposed to be moving. And I've just been going with that. I've been going with that. And that's not to say that things have like just continued to be very fast paced. There have definitely been days like today where it feels very normal. But I also know that those days are really just days for me to really sink into my mind and make sure that my mental patternings are actually correct, right? That I'm still staying very steadfast on the path that I'm supposed to be on. And I think this is a really important like tip for people too, of like if you have something really big happen to you and you are feeling so set in how it is that you're supposed to move and you feel like things are going super fast and then you end up having 1 or 2 or 3 days where they're a little bit more sedate. Don't sit and think that that sedateness of the situation of the days is a slowing down. It's not. It's a time for you to make sure that you clean up anything that has been maybe coming up to the surface that isn't in alignment with whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. And whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, it could be career, work, it could be relationships, it could be your kids, it could be anything, right? You've got to take those times when the world is sort of like in a holding pattern, when the universe is basically saying to you, like, we're organizing things for you. We're making sure that things are available and that the resources are there and that you can resource yourself and that the energy is there and give you time to make sure that you're really locking in to whatever it is that you want to do. And so that was it's days like these where I really relish being able to read and get my mind right, do my practice, do my meditations, do my breath work, clean so that my space is actually reminiscent of my internal, like my external space is reminiscent of my internal space, and really allowing for all of this stuff to really like sink in. And so it was such an amazing trip. And like I said, I really hope that if you are a person who's into spiritual stuff, grid work, portal keeping, if you're a person who just really wants to rejuvenate the land, if you want to be a part of rejuvenating the land and bringing out these ancient codes and stuff, I highly, highly recommend that you reach out to me and let me know because I have now gone on some epic trips. I feel like these are the only trips that I take. These are, and this trip was because it was led by a portal keeper, like a grid worker specifically. That work was very specifically done. And I would have never considered myself a grid keeper. Like, I would have never considered myself an activator in that way. And yet, I know that I was absolutely there to do that work, that I was being called to do that work and to pull out this knowledge and to embody that knowledge. The level of information that's like coming through my body as far as understanding activation of one's physical DNA and what that looks like in response to activating one's etheric or energy DNA, understanding that like the 13 strands of DNA are all holding different sets of coding for for everybody's consciousness, and that there's one strand in particular that's very specific to the physical body. I mean, the level of like stuff that's coming through me right now, I don't even know what to do with it all quite yet. And there's certainly things that I need to take time with. And so, yes, courses will be had, workshops will be had, but need to take some time now for just sitting with this and like actually talking to my guides and really figuring out how it is that I'm meant to pass this information on. the level of healing that I mean, every time I do one of these trims, I get more powerful. Like that is also something that is absolutely has to be discussed. Is that like I get way more powerful on these trips. I had my roommate on this trip. She struggles with sleep, and she told me about it. Like I don't know. I want to say probably the second or third night of the trip. And from that point, I was working on helping her achieve restful sleep. And she told me today, she's like, every day since I told you about me having difficult time sleeping, she's like, I've woken up every day having the most restful sleep. She was like, I've never slept so good. And she's like, did you do something to my sleep? And I was like, I actually had been like doing stuff for your sleep every single day since you told me about it. And I was just, I was floored. I was so happy and so proud. Like, guys, the level to which my clients are like saying, I can't believe that you were able to like get rid of that headache so quickly. I can't believe you were able to help my foot heal. I can't believe that you were able to help my sleep. I can't believe you know what I mean? It was like these things are, I mean, I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm like really fucking good. Um, but I'm like even better now. And I know that that is 100% because of the work that I do when I'm on these vacations and on these trips. I know that I call them vacations, but one thing that I had told a client of mine was like, this isn't a normal vacation. I'm not just sitting around like relaxing on a beach until after the fact. Like I had one day after the like vacation trip had officially ended where I got to spend a couple of hours on the beach, sans having to do anything and really being able um to actually relax and not be like paying too close of attention, right? And so I was like I was telling my client, I was like, this for me is like a self-activation. There's work that I am doing, energetic work that I'm doing on my body, on my energy, on my consciousness, in addition to whatever it is that I'm being called to do for the actual planet. And to do this work is so pivotal and it's so necessary, so required. And now that I operate flame, now that I'm activating my flame body, the level of speed and accuracy that I have now is nuts. It's actually nuts. And I ended up having a whole conversation with a client about how like I could absolutely like do so much for people. And one of the things that I struggle with as a healer is the balance between doing it for you and making sure that you are resourced within yourself and being able to go away from me and have the knowledge and skills and tools to be able to deal with things yourself. Because you guys, I have said it so many times. I have said it so many times and I will repeat it. I absolutely love that I can be the person that you can come to where I literally have one conversation with you and within 30 minutes to an hour, I can heal whatever's wrong with you. Like, depending on what it is, like, I can do that. And I've done that for clients who have massive cysts and fibroids, like uterine cysts and fibroids. And I've done that with people who have headaches, and have done that with people who have nausea. Like my mom right now is on a cruise in Alaska. And she messaged me a couple of days ago and was like, I am feeling so nauseous. Can you fix me? And I was like, yeah, yeah, I can. And just sat there for like 15, 20 minutes and like went and like fixed her body and then was like, "Hey, are you doing better?" And she was like, "Yes, I'm feeling so much better. I'm gonna lay down and take a nap now. Like I'm really tired." And I was like, "Yeah, that's also normal." I was like, "Yes, go lay down, take a nap. Let me know if you need anything." She's been having fun and like not having any issues. So it's like this is something that I'm so happy to be able to do and such a gift and it's so brilliant, but I also just feel like it is it's a service, but it's also a disservice. So I war with myself with this. And now that I'm operating at the level that I'm operating at, where I literally am getting to this space. I'm actually getting to the space, and I cannot even believe that I'm about to say this, but I'm getting to this space where I could touch you and you'd be fine. Like I'm getting there. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And the fact that I'm getting to that space is actually like it's such a fascinating space. I've literally been having conversations with Jesus because I'm like, you're the only other person that I know who has had this sort of like thing like that I know of that I could research and I could look up their life and I can like talk to you, right? Like there have been other people who've had this ability, right? There's other healers on this planet today that have this power. I just don't know them. I don't know their names. And when I know their names, believe me, I'll probably be reaching out to them, hoping that they have social because like social media, because I am at awe in my own like abilities and I really would love to know what their thoughts are on how they have this level of balance. How do they balance it out being this powerful, having this ability, and yet not becoming so like inundated and so tired and so like stressed inside of their body. Because the one thing I will say is like I ended up doing quite a few healings the other day and my body processed it out so quickly, like processed it out of their bodies, my clients' bodies so quickly and then I ended up recognizing, I was like, oh, like feeling it. Like I could feel it in my lymphatic system. I could feel it in the upper lobes of my lungs. And I had to then go and I had to do all of my work to like, get it out of my body. And while I know that I'm resourced enough to be able to do this, and I have all of my protocols and I have all of my things, it was also really fascinating to me that like I ended up doing something like 3 or 4 healings that day. And feeling that level in my body was fascinating because at the time, nothing hit for me. Like I was like, yeah, yeah, here we go. Heal, 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 heal. Like no big deal. Went in, did the thing, did things, and then a few hours later, realizing when I decided to like take a deep breath in, I could feel it. And then I started like checking in on myself and you're like, oh, okay, wait, like I can feel that there's something going on here. And I needed to do all of my like stuff because even though my connection was really, really strong, it doesn't mean that when you're processing healings in that way, when you're actually like processing people's illnesses and like moving it out of their bodies, that there isn't something that's going to happen to your own physical body. So I just I've been having a lot of conversations with Jesus and saying like, what is it that really helped you and made it easier for you, if easy is even the right word. One of the things that really has come up is divine partnership. And it's really interesting because this was actually a conversation that I had with my roommate on the trip. And it's something that like she's very much like she is into it for me. She is like putting out in the world that I'm going to find like my divine partnership to help lock this like these gifts in so that I can flow better with them. And I have to say, like, I am very open. I'm very open to that. definitely do not want to have to process all of this all on my own all the time. And I know that that divine union um is certainly a very necessary source. I don't think that Jesus could have done everything that he did without Mary Magdalene. And having a lineage through Mary Magdalene, I know how powerful she was. I learned at her feet as an initiate um, in one of my past lives. So I'm very like well versed with Mary Magdalene, and she's another one that I've had many, many conversations with in terms of what her role was. It's interesting because her role was very specific and very powerful, but it very much was this like very feminine role that she played. And I am the woman in the situation, but I'm also the healer in this situation. And so finding basically the divine masculine Mary Magdalene version is going to be a very interesting thing. It's a very interesting thing. So I am fascinated. Guys, let me know what you think. I would love to see comments. I'd love to see you in my DMs. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. And I think I'm going to end it here. I think I'm going to end it here because I really don't want to like make this boring in any way. I think this has been like the perfect length of time and to really like discuss just this aspect. And to be honest, I don't really have anything else to say. So, join us next time and hopefully all three of us will be back. The girls will, the Diamond Divas. We need to come up with a name. That's something. We're gonna come up with a name for the three of us because I don't know. We also really need to get on doing like a brand shoot for this because a new podcast cover is necessary and needed. So I think we're gonna be doing that soon too. Um, and you can also like let us know your thoughts on that. Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with anybody that you love or love to annoy. And we will see you next time on the next Breath of Life Conversations. Bye, y'all.